carry on this conversation about Julian Hayes because in the old days, I couldn't figure out the strength of who I was and what had happened to that. And I knew at this point that it was a purposeful experience so that I could destroy his ass and people like him. His skin is this color. His mother was my dental patient, and she was a mental ill patient also. She was mentally ill, and she was a seed planted to try to destroy my existence. However, I beat the mother, I beat the father, and then I beat Julian Hayes, and I literally disintegrated him with every day that he walked on land. So he's like this big now, and used to think he was a big man on campus because he knows Pusha T, and he knows Pharrell, and he met Missy Elliott and some other bullshit, and he goes to church on Sunday. And he's fat, and he's ugly, and he's lazy, and he smells. And then you, as a Massage Luxe customer, would likely think of him as a really good masseuse as he purrs in your ear like a gorilla. And the way he softly speaks and then tells you he's a musician, which is completely inappropriate. Although what we're doing right now is I'm bringing into the forefront of what it looks like for a dreadlock black person to try to put fear into your existence, who would be like, I'm trying to think of somebody that I could compare him to in Hollywood status. Because Pharrell is nothing like him, but they grew up near each other. So it would be like Dr. Dre. The fear of what Dr. Dre would bring to a woman's life is Julian Hayes. The type of I'm better than you, and then the, what is it called? Not redemption, but he wants that stuff where you get paid because your skin color. Reparations. They want free money, that's all they want, while they abuse society. So only a person who wants reparations, that's your sign that they're actually abusing the United States of America. They don't believe in unity. They don't believe in life. They don't believe in living. They don't believe in independence. They actually believe in that SLAVERY, but they want to own you. But I live in America, and that shit don't fly. So I think Pharrell used to be really intimidated by Julian. However, I've taught him how to say, F you, dude. Because Julian is mentally ill, but doesn't know he's mentally ill. So that's called schizophrenia. And he also has multiple personality disorders. So we dealt with Monovan. And now we're dealing with a black man named Julian Hayes who plays bass, which is the worst sound I've ever heard. And even worse, it's reggae, which I do not like. This type of behavior is where I first learned of the nonsense. It's all seduction tactic of forced feelings of that aren't real for yourself. That's easier for me to explain to you these days. However, in the old days, it was really, I would resist it, and then I wouldn't be able to resist it because I was enslaved. And so what I'm experiencing now is I'm not, like, all these pain, they're not pain pictures, they're just pictures of, like, some things that happened that don't affect me. They don't. Although in his sick mind, that he thinks they affect me, which he thinks they're giving himself the upper hand, but it actually is exposing what I need it to expose to you as an audience. So most of you do not understand how I'm able to do this, which is be violently abused by something and then use it as the opportunity of these big confronted. So this is going to Byron Donalds now. Of saying, what the hell are you talking about, you loser? But actually saying it so intensely and so strongly that they know that you think they're a loser, that you hate them, and that everyone else hates them too. Because that's the problem that we're dealing with, is that these people will not accept the fact they're not liked by anyone, such as Monavand. They're same category, but she's Persian and he's black. Kim Kardashian, same thing, Armenian. It's the high on supply that's bigger than I can even express in words, of like ego so big that you think you can control people. But that's what Kamala Harris brings to the table, that they learned during Obama administration in secret meetings. Secret meetings, Obama taught him bad behavior. What else? All the bells and whistles that should eventually wear off are now wearing off. Because when you're a good person, you don't need that shit. But a bad person like Monavand would need that shit. A bad person like Julian Hayes needs those long dreadlocks. They need that long hair so that they can feel something about themselves, because they're that dead inside. It's really hard for me to express to all of you. It's hard for me to express to all of you the lack of care they have. Like, they don't care about how Monavand doesn't care how she's affecting anyone. Kim Kardashian doesn't care that she made 1,000 girls cry. She says, okay, well, now what are we going to do? What are we going to do next? She's tried to kill herself. She says, I don't care. What are we going to do next? So it's that preying on, this is the worst, they're the worst kind. This is the worst kind. Which everyone's turning into it, though, is what I'm trying to tell you. Forgetfulness. Well, what happened? Well, guess what? You're not going to whitewash me, Monavand, or any of you. Kamala Harris is that. They get power off of pain. And they get away with it because they make you forget what happened. They try to drum up problems that aren't real. They invent your lack of confidence, but you are confident. Then they fill you up with garbage like, this is the narcissist part of turning bad content into bad content, is telling you to be happy and joyous as everyone in a stadium are raising hell for Kamala Harris. It's more than just a sellout. I might actually do another video off of this because I really want to bring into attention that this type of person is the lowest of the low. These are the lowest people. These are the women in Hollywood, such as Kendall and Kylie Jenner,